Entrepreneurs aren't born, they are made through failures, breakthroughs, and relentless hustle. Welcome to the Empowered Entrepreneur TV show. This is your host Rohit Soni, airing across 185 countries, 26 plus TV networks, 100 plus podcast stations. This is where visionaries share their unfiltered journeys, strategies, and game-changing insights. Your success story starts here. This is more than just a show, it's a movement. Watch, learn, and elevate. So, hello everyone, welcome back to the Empowered Entrepreneur TV show, season 2. This is your host, Rohit Soni, and I welcome everyone here because today is going to be about resilience, leadership, and intelligence all at the same time. I'm putting up an important show for each and everyone who is there to learn, who's there to grow, who's there to strive. This is the show for you to understand leadership, presence, empathy, and you'll learn a whole lot of things about your body as well, about your brain. And I really don't want anyone who's there to grow in each aspects of your life to miss this out. Okay, and before I actually go further into it, I would like to introduce my guest to you. Her name is Christianne Zurowski. She is an internationally respected empathy and leadership coach, helping entrepreneurs, leaders, and teams move beyond emotional intelligence to body intelligence. She teaches people how to reconnect with their innate body wisdom, the ancient intuitive form of awareness we had long before IQ and EQ. Through her work, Christiane empowers conscious leaders to move from autopilot living to present, resilient, empathic decision making. She's on a mission right now to help leaders like you who are watching the show shift from merely pushing through to living and leading with presence and an authority. And I'm super excited to have her. I would like her to have me on a stage. So, hi, Christiane, how are you doing?
Hello, Rohit. I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for that lovely introduction. How are
Yes,
you?
I did introduce you a little bit, but we would love to know a little bit more about you, right? How you doing? How's everything? And tell us a little bit more about your background so people who are watching, they learn a lot.
Sure. So my name's Christianne, and I'm a certified embodiment coach. I like to term that body intelligence. Embodiment seems to be a vague word that people kind of connect to yoga. So I prefer the term body intelligence because it truly is a form of intelligence that is within us that we can use to help us move us forward. It's not just about going to the gym. It's not just about doing some stretches and leaving it on the mat. Embodiment is a piece of everything. It's who we are. It's how we are. It's the way we show up in the world. And if you're not connecting the two, your mind and your body, you're not aligned, you're not whole, and you're not living your fullest self.
Okay. Also, so Christian, can you give us a little background on how you started your journey? Like, what was that big aha moment, or maybe you saw something that inspired you? Could you tell us a little bit more about that, please?
Sure. My journey is kind of a different one than many people. I didn't have a rock bottom moment. The world didn't implode on me. I was a teacher, high school teacher for 16 years. I absolutely loved what I did. I absolutely love teenagers. Like most people do not, and I love them so much. But I knew that I had plateaued, and I knew that I was just done that phase. I loved the lifting people up, and I needed more outside the four walls of a classroom. And I loved the piece where there are little humans in transition trying to grow from one phase to the next. So I knew all the things I loved. What I was really good at was building humans. I did not want to be marking and going to meetings and doing all the BS that teachers have to get stuck doing. And so I got pregnant, I had my son, and I left. But there was this knowing for about 4 years before I left that what am I going to do next? What am I going to do? Where is this going to take me? No longer feeling aligned and fulfilled with where I was. So many people get to this point of burnout. I've never reached burnout, but I definitely was feeling more and more resentful with where I was. It's taken for granted, not being fulfilled, not reaching my full potential. So for me, I just needed to listen to my body. And in those times, I didn't have any language for that. I just have gone through life listening to my body. Some people use the term empath. I'm definitely an empath. So I feel intently to the point that at times it was debilitating feeling until I learned how to use that gift better. So I've always listened to that inner knowing and that the spidey sense, some people call it. So that got me out of one career into another career. My uncle happened to have a very successful coaching firm in Mexico City, so I knew all about coaching. And then I said, I think this is a thing for me. This checks all the boxes, does all the things that light me up. So I went back to school. I got recertified as an certified organizational coach, so I could work with organizations and teams because I love groups, and realized that that didn't fit in my life of a newborn mom. So I worked a lot with one-on-one and loved helping people find their authentic self, like find that place where they feel truly connected to themselves. How can they transition from this plateau, this autopilot life, to one that feels full and connected? So that is what my journey was about, leaving something that didn't feel fulfilling and finding something that was. And that's where I love to be. That's the sweet spot for me. So as I was going through also working with my one-on-one clients, I found uh, the word somatic. I stumbled upon that. There's somatic coaching, there's somatic experiencing, and that has to do with the body. I did a ton of research when I got certification on that and the embodiment coaching. And this is where I'm meant to be, this space where you can listen to all that intelligence within you and stop ignoring it and pushing it away.
Well, that's amazing, right? Lovely to hear your journey. And you talk, Christiane, a lot about BQ. And how is it different from IQ and EQ? Could you expand a little bit on that, please?
For sure. So IQ is where society has led us. This idea that our brain is more important than our cognitive skills. We have to take tests in school. We have to push through and get A's to get to university. So this IQ for a long time has been it, right? It's the analytical, logical side of our brain on the left. It's the one that makes lists and makes sure that we get things right. So everybody has two halves of the brain, but society has really trained us to value one side more. The other side is called the empathic mode. And in the 90s, they coined the term emotional intelligence, right? That's only been around for a few decades. The understanding and awareness that our emotions are also part of the equation. So now we've got two parts, right? Our brain and our heart are on, you know, up for discussion, and people are trying to learn these soft skills to be in leadership in the workplace and not just think their way through problems, which is great and it's gotten us this far. But the missing piece, or the add-on piece, is body intelligence. And I'm not at all saying that the other two are not important. It's an and. So we need our IQ, we need our EQ. But what do you do when you understand emotions, right? What do you do just because you understand your EQ and you can name your emotions and you can have empathy for the other person and you can see that they're feeling hurt and bring them in, that there's an awareness there, but the piece that's missing is action. So what lights me up is body intelligence is the action piece. So all of them are forms of intelligence that are within us. Sometimes we use the term our head, our heart, and our gut, right? So when you have that gut feeling, when you know in your gut that something's right, that's your body intelligence. And for those of you that like stats, our gut is sending 9-to-1 messages up to our brain. So that means 9 messages up for every 1 the brain sends down. So we've got that many more messages coming from our body to our brain all day long. And traditionally, people dismiss it. They're like, oh, that's woo-woo, that's woman's intuition, don't listen to your gut, that's hokey. And we've dismissed it. So people have got an mistrained gut instinct. They don't trust it. They don't believe it. They've associated fear with excitement and everything's jumbled up and they don't know how to make sense of it. But it's a form of intelligence that we were given hundreds of thousands of years ago at early humans, right? So BQ is just bringing that back, the awareness and learning how to use it. So we've got awareness from both, but once you understand what your body is telling you. So for example, this works better. If my eye is twitching a little bit, what does that eye twitch mean? Oh, that means that I'm about to get really mad at the other person on the other side of that email. And how can we control that? Looks like we need a break.
Yeah, we're good, right? And I'd love for you to share a lot more about that. But right now, we have to run into a quick commercial. But when we come back, Christiane is going to share about body signals, disconnection, wisdom, decision making, like how all your presence has and conscious leadership affect your overall life, your body, and aspects of it. So when we come back, we're going to discuss those important points. So I'll see you right after this break. As a coach or a consultant, your focus should be on transforming lives, not struggling to get clients. That's where my company Amplify Media comes in to help you not just scale your business, but to consistently give you the revenue that your business deserves. We actually build a done-for-you lead generation acquisition system that brings in clients consistently so that you don't have to worry about where the next client is coming in. You focus on the most important thing that is scaling your business and impacting your own coaching clients. From high impact marketing and scroll stopping content to expert funnel creation, we take your business from point A to point B with precision. Coaches and consultants worldwide trust the company. We have over 277 plus clients, case studies all around the world, help tons and tons of businesses scale. So your next level is waiting. Let's make your brand unforgettable and visit the website today. I would love to offer you a free strategy session to share with you how we can help scale your business. Thank you.
Christianne Zurowski here, your body intelligence coach. I've got 2 offers for you. If you are looking to be a more aligned, more present, more empathic, and more connected leader, you can either choose from the Self-Leadership Program, which is a 3 months bespoke program designed just for your needs, or the 3-month BQ Team Accelerator option. Now that one's great if you manage multiple people. You get to bring their opinions on board with a 360 assessment, and it's better if you're looking for a relational change. So there's that fully internal, how you show up in your life, and then there's the addition of how you interact with others and how you can improve that. So 2 options for 3-month coaching program. And if you want to get a sense for what it's like, please download my free masterclass. In there, you'll learn body-based tools for managing stress and anxiety. You'll learn what BQ is. You'll get a sense for who I am and how I work and what I can bring to you and your organization. I know you'll love it, and I know you'll be able to put this into action ASAP.
So hello everyone, welcome back to the Empowered Entrepreneur TV show. This is your host Rohit Soni, and today I have Christianne Zurowski. Welcome back to the stage, Christianne. So before the break, we were talking a lot about her previous journey, BQ, IQ, and EQ. And according to you, Christianne, why do you think we have lost touch with the ancient form of intelligence and moral leadership? And what's happening around the world with that, please?
That gets me on a rant. So technology for sure has helped us eliminate that skill. For example, I always say GPS. When you're tuned into your BQ, it's like recalibrating your internal GPS. Anybody who has a car knows that you can just push the button. You don't have to know where you're going. So we lost the skill of having to know where we're going, right? Back hunter and gatherers, when they're in the forest, they had to get their own food. I had to listen for the rustling of the trees and like the smell of the animal coming to know where they were going to go. All we do is show up at the grocery store and buy our food or at the market. So the way society is today has made many things easy, but it has eliminated the need to know within ourselves. We don't even know when we're hungry anymore. We just snack because we're bored. So many pieces of our internal programming have just been overridden by the way we live in this world.
This is an important point because like the survival brain and the human current brain is very different. But the survival brain is still there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right now, in this day and age, we don't have to make that much of an effort compared to, and we don't care that much anymore because we don't have to make an effort, right? It's not, we are not being grateful. I'm not saying we're not being grateful, but actually we are not being grateful with what we have today, with what we didn't have 500,000 years ago.
Yeah, and it's really ironic too, because we work so hard to get all of these things that make our life better, that we should be grateful for.
Only to be addicted to a lot of things, right?
Right? So as we eliminate one, now we've just opened up a different can of worms, right? So without this pain, now we have a different, more internal pain. And for those people that are familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you've gone to psychology class, they often talk about it, right? In the back of the day, we're worried about the first level, the survival. Do you have your needs met? Basic like housing and food, and then, belonging. So we've gone so far in getting our needs met that we've now climbed to the top of the pyramid. So we don't have to worry about getting the food because we can pay, go to the grocery store, get our food delivered. I mean, where I live, there's Uber Eats and things like that. They just deliver it to your door. You don't have to do anything. But now we have this higher consciousness, this ability to look in and see, am I having meaning in my life? And that becomes a different form of pain and wonder and curiosity. And we can answer that question if only we tap back in internally. and use both sets of skills.
Agree. And according to you, Christian, what do you think about ignoring our body's signals hold us back in business and leadership? And I believe we talked about it somewhere. So could you enlighten us a little bit on that, please?
Yeah, like how does it help leadership? Is that the question?
How does it hold them back, right? Most of the CEOs, entrepreneurs, founders, they
Yeah,
ignore the body signals, right? And
so
then
many.
the leadership suffers, the business suffers, the profit suffers.
Right? So many ways. If we're looking only at the analytic mode brain, again, if I look at brain develop, then we're looking at the checklist. We're looking at the bottom line. We're looking at how much money there is. We're looking at how many expenses are going out. We're looking at the numbers, so to speak. And then in a business like that, if you don't look at the human side, you have a disengaged team. You have people that don't care about what they're doing. Mistakes are made. Communication breaks down between people. Things get slow and clogged up, and you don't get to thrive as a business you want to be. So one absolutely affects the other. And that's why EQ has become a big topic in leadership. So it's one thing to say, okay, I have some empathy for my team. Great. But if that team doesn't have skills to listen to their body, then that is holding them back. And I'm going to give some examples. So you're in a high stakes meeting and all of a sudden your heart starts going like this and the other person raises their voice, and you were raised in a family that yelled a lot, that raised their voice. So that does something to your nervous system. It escalates it. And all of a sudden you're going to react in a way that is a pattern from 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago that made you kind of snap at the other person, right? That's not good for a meeting, for a partnership, for your sales team. It's not good for anything. So if you can find your autopilot responses and recalibrate them, right? Like, can you hit the undo button and go back and go, oh, I don't have to react to that because I did so long ago because I have that pattern in me. I can change that pattern. And all humans have that pattern. So that pattern affects your team creativity when they're going to invent a new product, right? If they're not working together and they're pushing each other's buttons, you're not going to invent as many things. You're not going to make as much money. You're not going to be as productive and efficient. And if you're a leader that's working on autopilot, you're not going to be aware of the undercurrent of unwell. You're not going to be aware of the culture of the place that you work in. You're not going to be aware of the impact of the way you show up in the room to how those people are able to question, ask questions, show up as their fullest selves, right? You need a full human, a full team that's well connected and gets each other and supports each other and lifts each other up to be at your best as a human and as a business.
I agree with that part. And according to you, like, why is presence such a critical leadership trait? And like in terms of high stake
Right,
decision making, right? If someone is going to make a big decision today,
right.
why do you think presence in terms of overall body intelligence is the key? Because
Well,
people sometimes, are too much doing too many things,
right.
and then they forget about the most important things. Sometimes that happens a lot in upper
Yeah.
management.
Well, we live in a world where multitasking is the norm, where we brag about being busy, when we brag about handling a Zoom meeting and the emails at the same time as doing 100 things. And from a brain perspective, you're unraveling some of the programming in your brain to stay focused and do more. So that's like a brain perspective. Um, well, I'm just going to go off on a tangent here. So can you clarify that question for me again before I switch gears?
It's more about like how does it affect, right? Why presence is the key.
Presence. So presence is important because that's when you pause. I listen to you fully and I can engage and understand what you need. So right there, my brain just went off on a tangent because I get excited at these topics. If this
That's
was a
for
high
sure.
stakes meeting, I need to be 100% present to give you what you need. Otherwise, I'm thinking about what I need, right? And then if I'm only thinking about what I need, there's a bit of a disconnect here. So for a leader, you need to be trusted, right? You need to be somebody who is trusted to make good decisions for you and the team. And if you are not present, people are going to think that that person doesn't care about me. Why should I put my all into this business if it doesn't matter? They don't see my effort. They don't value me, for example. So the leader has to be very cognizant of the people that they're leading, in addition to very cognizant to the stakeholders, right? So if you're going to have a meeting with your stakeholders and you're not listening to them, how are you going to steer the ship of your company in the right direction? Why would they trust you? Why wouldn't they get rid of you and put somebody else in who can be grounded and calm and reflective when they answer rather than reactive or already made up their mind before they even showed up.
Well, that's important, right? Because presence is the key in high level decision making, right?
Mhm.
And in your experience, Christian, how does enhanced body intelligence affect someone's resilience and empathy for those? Like, what do you think about it?
Resilience. Okay, so body intelligence has a few components to it. There's just your baseline self awareness. Do you know what your body's telling you? Right. The next component is, can you use that information to help you change your actions so that you can show up the way you want? And then after that, there's, can I change my body in order to change the outcome? So there's awareness and there's action. There's two pieces going on right here. So you really need to, this is another hard question to answer without going off in so many tangents because I have so much to say. So the body intelligence at the baseline, um, I'm going to get you to ask that question one more time. I got off on a tangent.
So, what I meant is, in your experience, how does enhanced body intelligence affect someone's resilience and empathy for others? Like,
Okay.
what's that thing?
So resilience is your ability to bounce back when things are hard, right? If you are living in a state of fight or flight with high cortisol all day long, you're elevated. I like to say that you're kind of operating in the clouds. So when
Yeah.
something bad happens, you get spiked even further. And if this is the grounded level, you're always far from being grounded. But if you can practice some body intelligence practices that help your nervous system to settle throughout the day, you're not going to stay up here all day long. You're going to come down here and be closer to the ground more often. So if you get to operate here, you're going to make choices that are grounded and with clarity, right? You're not going to feel foggy. And if you don't have those practices built in your day and you let the stress keep you up here, it's like you're always in the clouds. Things feel foggy. Things don't feel clear. You feel like your feet can't just land and know the answer. So it is a daily practice like going to the gym, right? You can't lose weight if you eat one salad, and you can't be strong if you lift one weight. You need to have body intelligence practices all day long to help this baseline stay here so you can bounce quicker. And that's what resilience is. Stuff's always going to happen. You're never going to not have stress, but can you have a peak of stress and come back down quicker so that you can stay here more often?
And can you share with us an example of maybe a coaching client or one-on-one in-person client where BQ made a measurable difference in their life and business results?
Oh, so many. Um,
Give us the best. I
I
want you.
will tell you the one I just met with last week, for example. So I have one client who I have seen on and off for several years now. She first came to me because she was going to move from one leadership role to the next one and wanted some help with interviewing skills. She's the type of person that is always in her head and really analytical and really, really smart. But she was going into this interview super nervous, thinking about, am I going to say all the right things? And she couldn't land. Like her physiological response makes her kind of red in the neck, so she wears a scarf to hide it when she's nervous. And I'm like, you know all the answers. We taught her some strategies so that she could land and breathe and be calm and answer from a place of just knowing. Like, you and I are having a conversation here. You didn't give me any questions or prompts before, and I'm just listening and being able to answer from a place of knowing. It's very different than if I come in here and memorize and tell you what I memorized. Right. So that was an interview skill that got her the job. She was able to go in and rock it because she knew her purpose. She knew her why. And she stood tall with this amazing confidence that radiated in that interview that wasn't about a memorized answer. So over the years, she's learned more and more practices to be in this high, and this is a high stakes emotional role where she's in charge of a lot of people's high needs. So she's been able to regulate herself. She's able to be present and aligned. But her next challenge was when she got the next promotion. Okay, now she's got a team of 3 people that she works really closely with, and we just met last week. Her hardest jump in that leadership role was, now not only does she have to regulate herself, but these 3 people around her were not regulated, and it made it so much harder for her to stay regulated and present. So she was able to bring to her team and share those skills with them. And now they've altered their work week completely so that they can each support each other. So to give a concrete example, they have a set work schedule of hours, but one person really wanted to make it to their kids' baseball game. So they covered off those last hours on once a week so that that person could go and do something that helped feel grounded. And the other person really wanted to go for a run in the morning. So they covered off the morning hours so that they could support each other's wellness needs. And then after each of them getting something that helped them just connect to themselves, they also rescheduled their day so that they took meetings at lunch, in the morning, at lunch, and at the end of the day to just check in. They all did a little breathing exercise together. They all did an embodied routine. And at the end of the day, they ended their day sharing the glimmers of the day so that they could go home with a positive thoughts and soaking in their embodiment, why they're at this job. What is their purpose before they walk out that door thinking about all the things that go wrong? So for just to reiterate that example, she started getting her own skills, but it wasn't enough when she was in this high stakes position of leadership. She had to share those with her team because the team was bringing her down no matter how many skills she still had. Does that make sense?
Well, that makes total sense. And that leads us to another quick break. But you know what? I'm loving this show. Make sure whoever's watching it, they're making notes because this is one of those topics, guys, that uh, you've heard about it, but you actually never confronted by how actually it affects your life.
Mm-hmm.
You do this hustle bustle in your life, you do everything, but you kind of forget about yourself, your body, your mind all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this topic is the key here, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
really want everyone to make notes, right? And when we come back after this quick break, we'll talk about a lot of things, right? Like body intelligence, other than how leaders feel stuck, we help leaders make better decisions, biggest myth about empathy and leadership. So we'll talk about a lot more things, and mostly we'll also talk about how Christiane is helping her clients currently and what offer does she have. So when we come back, it's going to be massive and it's going to be very important for you. So I'll see you after this short break. As a coach or a consultant, your focus should be on transforming lives, not struggling to get clients. That's where my company Amplify Media comes in to help you not just scale your business, but to consistently give you the revenue that your business deserves. We actually build a done-for-you lead generation acquisition system that brings in clients consistently so that you don't have to worry about where the next client is coming in. You focus on the most important thing that is scaling your business and impacting your own coaching clients. From high impact marketing and scroll stopping content to expert funnel creation, we take your business from point A to point B with precision. Coaches and consultants worldwide trust the company. We have over 277 plus clients, case studies all around the world, help tons and tons of businesses scale. So your next level is waiting. Let's make your brand unforgettable and visit the website today. I would love to offer you a free strategy session to share with you how we can help scale your business. Thank you.
Christianne Zurowski here, your body intelligence coach. I've got two offers for you. If you are looking to be a more aligned, more present, more empathic, and more connected leader, you can either choose from the Self-Leadership Program, which is a 3 months bespoke program designed just for your needs, or the 3-month BQ Team Accelerator option. Now that one's great if you manage multiple people. You get to bring their opinions on board with a 360 assessment, and it's better if you're looking for a relational change. So there's that fully internal, how you show up in your life, and then there's the addition of how you interact with others and how you can improve that. So 2 options for 3-month coaching program. And if you want to get a sense for what it's like, please download my free masterclass. In there, you'll learn body-based tools for managing stress and anxiety. You'll learn what BQ is. You'll get a sense for who I am and how I work and what I can bring to you and your organization. I know you'll love it, and I know you'll be able to put this into action ASAP.
So hello everyone, welcome back after this quick break on the Empower Entrepreneur TV show. We were having an amazing chat about body intelligence, empathy, leadership, mindset, and we just touched upon a topic on resilience. But now we're going to talk about something that's deeper. I'd like to have my guest on the stage again, Christianne Zurowski. So Christianne, according to you, what is the one practice someone watching today could implement immediately to begin reconnecting with their body wisdom according to you?
The most basic, simple practice that I show all of my clients is to take embodied breaks throughout your day. So, for example, if you're somebody that works at the computer and you are constantly in this shape. Your fingers or claws are touching the keyboard, your shoulders are hunched, your eyes are fixed on the screen. The longer you get like that, your eyes give you a cortisol hit. So when we talk about fight or flight, imagine an animal that's about to pounce. They zoom in like this and they pounce, and your eyes are constricted. So if you're looking at a screen, you're giving your brain and body signals, cortisol, we're about to fight. And you're just sitting at the computer, right? So that is something that your body does to you without your brain being like a choice in that. So I'm going to tell everybody that wants to listen, the first thing you need to do is give yourself body breaks from this position, right? So if this is common, how do we undo it and hit the undo button? I'm going to ask you. If you want to do it with me on the screen, cool. So even just hold this for 10 seconds. It's kind of, we're going to be silly. Like hold the claw, hold the constriction as much as you want. 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was fast. 10 seconds. And now we're going to sit back, drop your arms, undo your gaze so that it's soft and at the horizon. If you're looking at a wall, pretend you're looking through the wall. You need to not squint. And hold this for a minute. I want you to have your feet on the ground and just wiggle them. Notice what they feel like. Wiggle your spine and see what it's like to rotate your shoulders back. And another really cool note, if your hands are like this, I want you to spin them out so that your thumb is facing out away from your body and your arms are dropped. So that seems like a lot to do, but once you do, you can do it in 10 seconds. So to reiterate, we're going to move from crouched to straight. You're going to soften your gaze, straighten your spine, spin your thumbs out and drop your arms. Feel the difference with your breathing. When you're crouched, your breath is up here and it's tight and we hold our breath. When we do this, you've now opened your shoulders just by spinning your thumbs. It rotates open your chest so that you can get more airflow. When your airflow is going, you can have more flow of ideas. When your spine is straight, your body is aligned, and so are your thoughts. So hold this right now with me for, if we've got time, let's do 15 seconds because I talked a lot. So feet on the ground, spine straight. Notice how your breath moves better. And if you want to up it a notch, notice something beautiful around you, right? It could be the bird that just flew by or the picture of your family on your desk, right? So that will give you your embodiment a reset from stressed to embodied. And just feel your body. You're like, oh yeah, I exist. I'm not just a brain in a brain taxi where your body is there to move your head around all the time. And if you can do that, I tell my clients, set your alarm every hour if that seems like too much, maybe between every client session if you're somebody that meets with clients, or between whatever your natural breaks are. It doesn't have to be on the hour. Maybe you only do it 3 times, before work, at lunch, and after work, maybe before bed. But give your body the experience of landing. My feet are on the ground. I exist here at this moment. I'm not thinking about tomorrow. I'm not thinking about yesterday. And notice the sensations. But those tiny little notes of the eyes, the back, and the thumbs out shift the way you breathe. And it can be done anywhere. It can be done in the car. It can be done, take a bathroom break if you're in a meeting, you just need to step away. It can be done during the meeting. Nobody even has to know that your thumbs are facing out and you're breathing differently. So it's the tiniest little thing that you can gift yourself. A moment to come back to your present body. Not thinking about tomorrow and all the things you have to do. Not thinking about all the things you did already or did wrong. Overthinking. Just be in this moment, present. No fancy breath work, right? No fancy anything. Just those tiny little tweaks bring you down from the clouds to planet Earth so you can ground your feet and think clearly again with whatever you're doing next.
Well, that was an amazing exercise, and I'd like you to continue, share something else because I felt very good with what I did.
Okay, you want some more?
Yeah, just give it something else, right? This was just good. Like, and I believe this is a type of exercise that the people who are watching would need, right? and it was just so calming. Like it was just so good. I was listening to you, but I was feeling myself a whole lot more.
Yeah. And when we live in our heads, it's like being on the hamster wheel that people use that expression. Your brain is going, 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 going. We're checking off the boxes. We're doing our to-do list. We're like, this is what I have to do to be successful. This is what I have to do in order to make more money. This is what I have to do to XYZ. And then you're only in your head. And we pretty much only live in the forward and backwards, present and future. People don't stop. So if you're going to have, let's say, before a really hard conversation, maybe if you have a spouse or a partner, before you're going to have real talk, do that so that you're there for them, not thinking about all the other things. If you're a parent, do that before you come home to your kids. If you're a leader, do it before you step into the room with the people you are leading, right? If you're in sales, do it before you get on a sales call. Before you have any interaction with another human, make sure you're grounded. Make sure you're your best whole self in this moment. And that's presence. And all that takes is 1 minute intervals throughout your day. If you only do it before bed, then you've let your cortisol spike, 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 spike. So you live in the clouds all day. It's a lot harder to come back down if you only do it once a day, because this is your baseline. If you do it every hour, every 2 hours, every 3 hours, your baseline never gets that high. Maybe you're floating here with stress. Maybe you're floating here with your daily stress. And that's what resilience is, the ability to come back down when things get ugly. So do we have time for one more little strategy?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So for people that have a hard time coming down, which are most of my clients, they're like, I know what I'm supposed to do. I just can't do it. So the more escalated you are, the more high stakes it is, the harder it is to think your way to presence, because it's embodied. So I'm going to teach you one golden trick that you can do anytime. And it takes 2 minutes. This one's a little bit longer. So I'm going to ask you to do it with me while I talk, if that's okay. If you've ever heard of that lazy boy chair, it's that recliner. Those are really popular back in the 80s, and our grandparent where I live had one. You're going to lean back. You're going to stretch your legs forward like they're up on a chair. And put your hands behind your head like you're just chilling in the chair. So it's important that you are not sitting like this, straight. You're actually back, leaning, reclining. And I'm going to talk while you do that. So just chill with me while I do this.
Okay.
This takes about 2 minutes. You need longer than a minute, because in 1 minute, you're going to get about 6 breaths when you're calm. Now, Rohit, if you can keep that pose while I talk, would be great. When people are stressed, our breath is usually up here. We either hold our breath, it's constricted, it's fast, it's high. And when we're in a calm state, it's down low on our diaphragm. Some people might know that already. This is sympathetic. This is parasympathetic nervous system. And it's really hard to get calm when you're freaking out. But if you do this, you cannot breathe here. So if you want to feel the difference, try this. Put your hand on your heart and breathe. This is normal breathing when people are working throughout the day, and it's up here. And when you lean back like this, the air bypasses the top of the lungs and gets pushed down to the diaphragm because your arms are open and because you're leaning back. So your physiology forces air into your lower diaphragm, which puts you into parasympathetic, which puts you into relaxed state. So that's the science behind it. All you need to do is chill in a chair for 2 minutes. If you're having a tough conversation with somebody, you can both sit like this. I did this with another client of mine, actually. I went in, did a presentation for her team on stress. She was fully stressed because of something that was going down in the office. When we had our debrief after the presentation, her and I debriefed like this. And I'm like, try this debrief, please. And she's like, yeah, I'll do it later. She did it for like 5 seconds. And she's like, that's enough. I'm like, that's the problem. If you just do this and put the idea on the shelf, you're not practicing. And embodiment is about practice. So this for 2 minutes will get you maybe 12 cycles of breath, maybe more. And that's enough for you to shift from panic, from high stress, high anxiety, to a regulated nervous system. And the beauty is you didn't have to think a thing or do a thing. And that's what I love about body intelligence. It's using your body to create action and to create change. So I like to say change your shape. We went from this shape to this shape to change your state. So I went from stressed to calm. And there's so many ways to do that. And sometimes you don't want to go to calm. Sometimes you want to move into action. There are ways to do that. Sometimes you want to let go. Sometimes you want to be confident. Sometimes you want to be more joyful. Whatever it is that you're searching for, you can access it through the body. And this way, you don't have to think yourself there. Your body does it, and then your mind follows secondary. How is that for you, Rohit? Feeling nice and chill?
I can do this all day.
Right? So if you don't like the palm down, gaze, eyes, whatever, thumbs by your side, do this instead.
Yeah, this is good, right?
This is
We
gonna
can do
change
this all day.
Right? We're going to change your shape, and you're going to have a regulated nervous system breath. And then after 2 minutes, you come back to your email or your meeting or whatever you're doing. And it works like if you're in panic mode. So it actually affects your vagus nerve, which is a nerve that connects all the way from the base of your brain down to the emotional network that's happening in your gut. So that's, again, more science stuff if you want to look that up. But it is
Well,
not you.
I believe the third part of this episode is the best, but we'll make sure the next one is even better because, again, like we have to run into a quick break. But this was absolutely, what's the right word? It was just out of the blue that I had to do this, and I just feel better. Right?
Experiential.
Exactly. And when we come back, we'll discuss about how Christiane is helping people with her coaching, which we kind of skipped this part, but let's wait for the main event then, right? I'll see you after this 1 minute break, and we'll discuss about how Christiane is helping her clients. I'll see you after this short break. As a coach or a consultant, your focus should be on transforming lives, not struggling to get clients. That's where my company Amplify Media comes in to help you not just scale your business, but to consistently give you the revenue that your business deserves. We actually build a done-for-you lead generation acquisition system that brings in clients consistently so that you don't have to worry about where the next client is coming in. You focus on the most important thing that is scaling your business and impacting your own coaching clients. From high impact marketing and scroll stopping content to expert funnel creation, we take your business from point A to point B with precision. Coaches and consultants worldwide trust the company. We have over 277 plus clients, case studies all around the world, help tons and tons of businesses scale. So your next level is waiting. Let's make your brand unforgettable and visit the website today. I would love to offer you a free strategy session to share with you how we can help scale your business. Thank you.
Christianne Zurowski here, your body intelligence coach. I've got 2 offers for you. If you are looking to be a more aligned, more present, more empathic, and more connected leader, you can either choose from the Self-Leadership Program, which is a 3-month bespoke program designed just for your needs, or the 3-month BQ Team Accelerator option. Now that one's great if you manage multiple people. You get to bring their opinions on board with a 360 assessment, and it's better if you're looking for a relational change. So there's a fully internal how you show up in your life, and then there's the addition of how you interact with others and how you can improve that. So 2 options for 3-month coaching program. And if you want to get a sense for what it's like, please download my free masterclass. In there, you'll learn body-based tools for managing stress and anxiety. You'll learn what BQ is. You'll get a sense for who I am and how I work and what I can bring to you and your organization. I know you'll love it, and I know you'll be able to put this into action ASAP.
So everyone, welcome back to the Empowered Entrepreneur TV show, season 2. So today my guest is Christianne Zurowski, and we were discussing and doing very good activities, right? And we were not just telling, we were acting the real way, how you can just be more calm. That's the right word for me. Just be more calm within yourself, within your body, right? And understanding body intelligence to it, right? So now we really want to focus on Christianne, you and your coaching for the next 2-3 minutes. So take your time, share with the viewers whatever you did with me in the last segment, how you can actually help more people be impacted with what you know, right? So the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Rohit. So body intelligence is about an experience. It's about feeling more and thinking less. So we're turning on the sensory experience and turning off the chatter, right? So the best way I can tell people what it is show them. So thank you for participating with that, Rohit. That was 2 little exercises you can do every day to bring your body back to baseline. And it gives you the gift of all the things we've talked about: resilience, empathy, connection, alignment, right? So with my clients, I work one-on-one all the time with different sorts of clients. If you're a leader, I've got 2 different programs. I've got one that I call self-leadership, and in 3 months you get 6 sessions, and we can work on exactly what it is that you need. I've got a baseline assessment that you can take, and we can see what areas are the greatest need for you. And what I love so much, it's not a lot about talking. You don't have to come like talk therapy, share your story, tell me all the things that happen in your day and unload. You come, you give me a little nugget of what's bugging you. I witness what your body is doing as you talk, and then we undo whatever that pattern is so that you leave with a tangible practice that you can put into your life immediately and start to undo that pattern. So you can have self-leadership program for 3 months, or if you're a team leader, a different kind of a leader, then you can it's also a 3-month program, but this one gets you 9 sessions and it brings your team on board. So there's a 360 interview where I can interview the different people that you work with, and they will give me some feedback about your embodiment style. So sometimes the way we think we're coming across is not the way others perceive us. And that's a huge detriment to leaders. That breaks down psychological safety. That means that in your meetings, they're not being effective because people aren't speaking up and they're not telling you the truth, right? So if you are a team lead and want to really improve the psychological safety, the culture, and the connection you have with those people, that option's for you. So that I call the Embodied Leader Team Accelerator. So 2 different ways you can get some more embodiment skills in your life. I also do workshops, and all of this can be done online. If you are in the Lower Mainland where I live, we can be in person. But I love giving a workshop, for example, just how do you have some body-based tools for stress and anxiety? Hire me, put on 100 people on your Zoom call. I can train them with these skills. You can have a series of these workshops. Perhaps you want to have some with giving you skills for more focus, more purpose, more presence. Maybe you want to have some rituals throughout your day in order to help people transition between difficult moments to handle transition and change. Maybe you want to work with a particular team that needs more confidence and they need to shine brighter with what they're doing and not play it small. Right? Maybe you want to have a workshop that is specifically about relationships and connection, where everybody can learn their type of embodiment style. This is the way I tend to show up. This is the way you tend to show up. This is how we can work better together and bring our best selves to the table. And you go out through life, and this applies to everything. If you learn about yourself, you start to see the patterns in the other people. That's your work relationships, your personal relationships, the people at the grocery store, right? This is such a huge domino effect on your life to understand how your embodiment really affects your life. It is who you are. It is what you are. It is how you show up. And if you are not aligning what you think with what your heart wants and what you're doing, you're not aligned. There's something missing. You can't be trusted, right? We all know those people that say, I walk the walk, and then they say one thing and do another. You don't trust those people, right? You need to say what you think, what you feel, and do it also with your body. So that's my gift to the world. I really want people to understand this. I want them to be able to trust what their body's saying and use those skills to make the changes they need.
Well, whoever wants to connect with Christianne, I'm going to drop the LinkedIn link of hers and the website so you can directly connect with her. Okay, so you can be updated with the latest masterclasses, offers, services all at the same time. So, Christiane, the last thing that we usually do on our show is the quick rapid fire. So, are you ready for it?
Okay, give her.
One habit that keeps you grounded.
What habit? Oh, my morning check-in. Every morning I wake up and I do a grounding ritual.
A book you'd love to give to every leader.
Every leader. Oof. I'm every leader. I really love Adam Grant's Think Again, but I'm looking at my bookshelf, and The Body is Your Brain by
Body.
Amanda Blake is the one that got me into somatic everything. She's amazing. There's so many great case studies in there of how your body can help you be a better leader.
Okay. And best decision you ever made for your career?
Ooh, leaving teaching and beginning coaching for sure.
Favorite way to reset when stress hits?
I like a silent meditation where I sit, check in with my higher power, and listen to what my body needs at that moment. At least 10 minutes of that resets my whole life.
Leadership in just one word.
connection.
Well, that's it, guys. I love it, and I believe this was by far one of the most what's the right word? Action taking and learning session for me that I've done till now, and I really appreciate you for joining us today, Christiane. It was a pleasure having you. Any last thoughts you want to share with our guests, with our viewers today?
No, I love that you use the word action because this really takes awareness and puts it into action. It's my favorite part. It's the doing, not just the thinking. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Rohit. It was great.
Any last thoughts for our viewers today? Any last thing you want to share with them?
Oh, I challenge you to add at least 5 embodiment checks into your day for 1 week, just 1 week, and note the difference of how you feel when you go to sleep. How's your quality of sleep? How are your interactions with others? How is your overall body wellness? 1 week challenge. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear.
Thanks a lot, Christiane, for being on the show today. Thank you. So that's another episode of the Empowered Entrepreneur TV show, season 2. And it was lovely to have guests like Christiane, who just shared with us simple tips and strategies and actions, I'll say, to do things that will help you ease down, calm down while working, while being in stress. And to anyone who wants to connect with her, I'll drop everything in the chat and in the linked in description. But I really want you to take action today and just calm. Sometimes whenever you're working too hard, you forget about yourself. You just keep working for the clients, and then it's more or less you're just working and you're actually not living. So I would suggest you to restart, regain, and rework how you do things and just take some breaks. The more you focus on this body, the better this body can give you. That's the message I want to leave everyone. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye. Success isn't for the chosen few. It's for those who choose to show up, take action, and never back down. This is the Empower Entrepreneur, hosted by Rohit Soni, airing across 185 countries, 26 plus TV networks, and 100 plus podcast stations. You've heard the strategies, you've seen the mindset. Now it's time to execute. I'll see you next week, every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern. Go, build, dominate. Until next time, stay empowered.